Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I'm going to be reacting to some TikToks. I've been tagged in a lot of these. People have DM'd them to me, emailed some of these my producer found or I found on my own. So we're really all over the map here today, but nonetheless, I think it's always enlightening and entertaining to get, a more healthy, more mature approach to some of these train wreck TikTok videos. So let's get started.
What is it like being single? I like it. I like starting each day with a sense of possibility. And I'm optimistic because every day I get a little more desperate.
Oh my god. Okay, so he was screenshotting different girls' profiles. It was like a bunch of different girls, and there was a prompt that was like, I'm the type of texter who doesn't text back, doesn't reply, blah, 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 and he used the Michael Scott song to talk about being optimistic. Sadly, this is something that I think a lot of people deal with. First of all, ghosting is at an all-time high. You guys know it, I know it, I've done videos about it. But also just like people not having the energy to reply to a text. Not even energy. Sometimes girls are getting so many text messages or so many messages on dating apps that they don't even see your message. It's funny to me because I see a lot of videos that girls make about all men are the same, and they'll screenshot like a bunch of different men's profiles, but I've never really seen a guy do that with a girl, probably because he would most of the time get roasted in the comments because there's normally such a double standard. But this one is funny just to see like all these different girls saying the same exact thing. I do think a lot of the time people will use being a bad texter as an excuse as to why they aren't talking to you, but in reality, if someone likes you, they're gonna want to talk to you. And they're not gonna say, sorry, I'm such a bad texter. Or they're playing hard to get and they're just playing games and trying to be all crazy and sneaky, which is not the move. But I just thought that was funny because all those different girls had the same exact thing in their profile.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
When you realize being feminine will get you more from men rather than trying to be as masculine as them. Yep. Every time, like clockwork. Again, going back to that masculine and feminine energy, a lot of men want a woman who is feminine, but then don't allow her the space to be feminine. If you're a guy watching, keep that in mind, and also realize if you want a feminine woman, you gotta be masculine. I'm not talking about like toxic masculinity where you're like trying to be all alpha, Dan Bilzerian or whatever the heck his name is. You don't need to act like that. If you want a feminine woman, you have to be a masculine man. There has to be a healthy balance of masculine and feminine energy in your relationship. I actually did a whole video about masculine and feminine energy. I kind of dive a little bit deeper into each one, why it's important, the whole 9 yards. So definitely be sure to check that out if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, a lot of masculine men don't want to be with a masculine woman. Sure, there are exceptions to everything. I'm sure some feminine men want to be with a feminine woman and whatever. You could create a scenario for anything, but generally speaking here, you got to have that healthy balance. And it might work in the beginning if you don't, but long-term sustainable, maybe not. Because that woman who took on that masculine role is going to get sick of that masculine role, but then she's with a feminine guy. Mess.
Too many young girls are flattered by the attention of older boys and don't realize until too late that these boys, who cannot compete in their own age group, are often not well adjusted and will demand too much in a relationship with a younger girl.
Ooh, you know what that reminds me of is like being in high school and there's like 23-year-olds trying to date a high schooler or 25-year-olds trying to date a high schooler, and it's like, can't you get anybody your own age? You have to go to high school because no one your age likes you? It's creepy and it's weird. I think it doesn't matter as much once you get a little bit older. Like if a 40-year-old dated a 30-year-old, not a big deal. But when you're in high school and when you're so young and impressionable or not of age and an older guy tries to like date you, I think a lot of girls would be like kind of flattered by that. But then when you really think about it, it's like, why would a 24-year-old want to date a 17-year-old in high school? That's weird. Very strange. And again, I think it's interesting because then when you get older, it doesn't matter as much. But it's that like high school age where I think it's just very odd. Like there were some girls in my high school that would date these like 30-year-old dudes, and I'm like, why does a 30-year-old guy want to date a 17-year-old? That's just weird. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I the only one? Clearly I'm not the only one that thinks that, but it just was always odd to me.
I never slide in the DMs. I don't like that because it fucks up the dynamic. Like when a girl's chasing you, it's way better because you can kind of like push away, push away, push away. And then when they finally fuck you, they feel like, oh, like I got the prize. Like, you know what I mean? They're stoked about it.
Lord help us all. All right. Doesn't he pay girls to hang out with him? Let me know, because I'm pretty sure he does. But also, when you are rich and famous, or you act like you are, or people think you are, you don't have to slide into DMs. Girls just want to be with you for the clout, or the lifestyle, or the fact that you'll pay them to hang out with you. Like, it makes me nervous that guys are getting advice from people saying things like this that are not relatable at all. And also paying girls to hang out with them. Sure, you can get a girl to hang out with you if you pay her. You don't have to message her, but you do have to give her $1,000. Plot twist. You know, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be disrespectful. I like to keep it classy and graceful here. But taking advice from people that act like the way I've seen him act on some things, I just wouldn't. I would just really not take advice from him. Sorry. Also, if you're a guy who's not like a celebrity or has a ton of clout or money or whatever it is, you have to message girls. Like, how else are you going to meet people? Sure, you can meet them in person too, but if you want to meet someone online, or you want, like, girls do not really reach out to you unless you're like famous. It is very rare that girls send messages first, especially if you're just like a normal person. Like if you're a celebrity, I'm sure celebrities get messages from girls all the time, but if you're a normal person like me or you don't just like get messages from girls, right? You have to pursue. You have to reach out. It's just like sales. If you want something, you have to go for it. And I think it's attractive when men pursue you and reach out. And maybe he doesn't have to do that, again, because he's paying girls to hang out with him. Whatever.
Working as a licensed marriage and family therapist for years, I learned that most men have no idea how to talk to their wife, or why they even need to. But women say, talk to me, I want to hear from you. And he says, what am I supposed to say? The truth is that female sex drive is driven by emotional intimacy, and a lot of that is built on talking and sharing. And if a man doesn't know how to talk to his wife, there's probably not going to be much sex.
Ooh, that's interesting. And it's incredibly true. I think a lot of men don't know this or realize this because men are, turned on by different things than women are. Men are very visual, very physical, and they could just see a hot girl and, want to sleep with her. Keeping it PG here. But women don't really work that way. Sure, some women might. There are exceptions to the rule, but most women get turned on when they feel emotional intimacy, when they feel safe emotionally. I mentioned in a past video I did that a lot of times men will not express any physical intimacy unless, they want that end result. And as a woman, you kind of need that physical intimacy outside of the bedroom in order to feel kind of an emotional, intimate connection with your partner. And if you're not getting that, the woman then doesn't want to sleep with the man because it's all about the result. It's all about, the act of sleeping together and not just a hug or a kiss or cuddling or whatever it is. So showing physical and emotional intimacy outside of just the bedroom is so important. And that's what he's talking about here, about creating that emotional intimacy. That is how a lot of women get turned on by a man, is through emotional connection, emotional intimacy. So if you don't have that, it's going to be lacking for a lot of people, for most people, I would say. And of course, there are women that, are maybe wired a little bit more like men or think that they are, and, they'll just do whatever whenever. Women and men are different, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. I think it's just important to know that about the opposite sex so that, you know what you're doing. So keep that in mind. Oh no.
1, I have a wife, not a girlfriend. 2, you obviously haven't seen my wife. And 3, there's not an amount of clothing or a lack thereof that would even cause me to look in your direction.
Okay, she said, I don't care if you have a girlfriend. If I like you, I like you. LMAO, your girlfriend isn't going to change that. If you see a girl like this, or see a girl post content like this, consider it a red flag. She's just showing you that she's insecure. I don't want to hate on this girl, but as a woman, I can tell you, if a girl willingly and knowingly would sleep with a guy with a girlfriend or who is married, she has issues. She's so insecure, deeply insecure, and probably needs therapy. And I don't say that in a mean way, I'm just being totally honest. Something is not right if that is happening, and I would consider it a huge red flag if I was a man watching content like this. And also, like, why? Why do you want to be someone's side piece? Why do you want to be with a guy who has a girlfriend and would even be willing to leave the girl for you? If they do it with you, they'll do it to you. So, rough. And as a girl, like, why would you post that? Why would you brag about that? It's embarrassing.
Ladies, remember that the partner that you choose for your life is likely the most important choice you will ever make. It determines the quality of your life, your kids' lives, and your level of safety, comfort, and peace as you get older. You may be 20 and toxic right now, but toxic relationships turn into marriages. I promise you this won't be funny or cute when you're 50, scared, neglected, abused, emotionally not tended to, realizing you missed what life had in store for you because you chose to settle. Start healing and taking this serious now.
Thank you for saying that. Finally, a TikTok that resonates with what I talk about on my channel. How refreshing is this? Not just because she agrees with me, but because she's promoting being healthy and cutting out the toxicity, and stop acting like it's cute to be crazy or toxic or manipulative. I will never understand the appeal of people who post TikToks or content or videos in general about how to manipulate people, how to be toxic, how to be crazy, how to like, why are you doing that? Number 1, you're making yourself look bad. Number 2, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Number 3, we shouldn't be promoting manipulating people or being hurtful or toxic. And if someone hurt you and you feel that way, that's something that you need to work on, not promote it and try to get other people to join along with you. It's so cringy and so lame, and I will never understand why people promote or post that type of content. And I've been graceful, I've been respectful, but it gets to a point where you see so many videos like that, and it's like, what is wrong with people? And again, we like to focus on solutions here. We like to focus on the positives. But I think part of that is seeing the problem and knowing what to avoid. And seeing if there's parts of you that are like that maybe you need to work on and heal. Because if you're someone who's being toxic or promoting being toxic, you've got things to work on. And I love this TikTok. So, how refreshing was that?
And the last one I don't talk so much about is Perry Ellis 360 Red. I love it, man. It's the dildo of the fragrance industry. And yeah, it's not so funny actually. Still don't know how to talk about the topic of masturbating. Difficult, man. I do it, but I don't come. And you know, it's like, if I can be that honest, but it's simply to boost my power type of vibe. Alright, ultimately, of course, I want to have a girlfriend and a wife. Turning that girlfriend into a wife and have great kids.
Where's this going?
So that's Perry Ellis 360.
So that's Perry Ellis 360. Jeremy, are you okay? If you guys don't know who Jeremy Fragrance is, it's probably one of the most entertaining YouTube channels I have ever discovered. I'm really into fragrances, so I watched him for, you know, information type of content, but then he'll throw in something like that and you're like, that was really out of left field. Where did that come from? Had nothing to do with Perry Ellis 360. And you're just like, what is going on right now? Cody Co actually did a video reacting to him. It was the funniest thing I've ever watched. And then Jeremy made a video, and then they did a video together, and it was just like the collab of all time. It was amazing. But I just like, sometimes I don't understand why people post the things they post online. At least he feels comfortable, right? But maybe some things we should keep to ourselves. All right, guys, that is all I have for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Again, I know that TikTok is entertaining sometimes, but I do think it's enlightening to see these things, to know what to maybe avoid when you're dating, maybe some things you should cut out of your life and stop doing, and also just, you know, seeing things from a healthier, more mature point of view. I think we should all be striving for that, and I'm quite frankly tired of all the toxicity and crazy people. I don't know about you, let me know. But if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.